These are solutions to AQA's GCSE Mathematics Higher Tier Paper 1, and it's from summer 2023 or May 2023. Okay, so it is a non-calculator paper, so we're just going to run through this as quickly as we can. First question says work out 0.7 times 0.5. So 0.7 times 0.5. To do this, forget about the decimals. 7 times 5 is just 35. And then you've got one digit after the decimal place here, another one here. That means you have two digits after the decimal place in the answer, so 0.35. Next question says work out 5 over 6 divided by 3. So 5 over 6 divided by 3, write your 3 as 3 over 1. Then flip your dividing fraction, so it becomes 1 over 3, and your divide sign turns to a times. Multiply along the top, you'll have 5. Multiply along the bottom, you'll have 18. 5 over 18. Next one says work out 27 divided by 0.6. Write that as a fraction, it's 27 over 0.6. And then multiply top and bottom by 10 to get rid of the decimal. And then we'll do a bit of cancelling down. Top line divides by 3 to give you 90. Bottom line divides by 3 to give you 2. And then 9 divided by 2 is 45. That's the first page done. Solve the inequality. It doesn't say anything about integers or anything like that. So all you do is divide across by the 2, which means x is less than 13. Next one says work out the value of 3 over 2 squared. Square the top, you get 9. Square the bottom, you get 4. It says write it as a mixed number. 4 goes into 9 twice with 1 left over, so 4 and 2/4. Next page. Okay, A, B, C, D. You've got BD and BE are straight lines. So A, B, C, D, that's a straight line. BD is a straight line, BE are straight lines. The angle EBD is equal to 5 times the angle ABE. So right, ABE is this angle in here. And I'm going to call this one X. And then it tells you EBD is 5 times that. So that means this is going to be 5X. And then DBC is 3 times that, so that's 3x. So that's what you've got. Work out the size of EBD. So we need to find what 5x is, but we know that x plus 5x plus 3x, which is 9x, adds to 180. 1x then is 180 divided by 9. X then works out to be 20, and then we wanted EBD, which was equal to 5x. So that's 5 times 20, which is 100 degrees. Excuse my terrible handwriting. Next page. Okay, 2 prime numbers are multiplied together. The answer is an even number between 50 and 60. Complete the calculation. Right, 2 prime numbers, and it's an even number. Okay, which means one of my prime numbers must be 2. And the answer is an even number between this. Okay, 50 and 60. Right. It's not going to be 50. We'll say I do 2. 2 is my first one. 52 divided by 2 is going to be that. 54 divided by 2 is 27. 56 divided by 2 is going to be 28. 58 divided by 2 would be 29. Is 29 a prime number? It is. Right, so 2 prime numbers are multiplied together. So if you did 2 times 29, you're going to get 58. Hopefully that works. Does that work? 50 29 is prime? Yep, so 2 prime numbers, that's prime, and that's prime. The only way to get an even answer is if one of them's even. That's why I picked 2, the easiest, and that's the only even prime number there is as well. So that has to be done that way. I think that's our answer there. Okay, right. Andrew and Bruce share some money in a ratio 5 to 6. Bruce gets 96%. Okay, this method I use an awful lot. So Bruce gets 96 pounds, sorry. And then Andrew gives 1/4 of his share to Carl. Bruce gives 2/3 of his share to Carl. How much does Carl get? Okay, we've got to work out how much they get in total then. So Bruce gets 96 pounds. So 96 pounds is Bruce. That is 6 parts. Let's just work out what 1 part is. So just do 96 divided by 6. Top and bottom divide by 3 to give you 32 over 2, and then that just is 16. So 1 part is 16. We need to find Andrew. So he has 5 parts. 5 times the 16 is going to be 80. So that's going to be £80. So let's just write that down. Andrew gets £80. Bruce, we know in the question, gets 96. And then it says Andrew gives, I haven't got much room here. Andrew gives 1/4 of his share to Carl. So Carl gets 1/4 times 80. And then 2/3 of Bruce's, so 2/3 of 96. So that's just going to be 20. 1/4 of 80 is 20. 96 divided by 3 is just going to be 32. And then multiply that by 2 then is just going to be 64. So 64, that's what Carl's going to get. He's going to get £84. So £84 for Carl. Okay, tricky enough wee question. Next one. It says work out the value of A. Right, this is a product of prime factors. And the only method I use is this one, what's called the ladder method. So divide by the smallest prime number as far as you can. Okay. And that's as far as I can go. Then you jump on to your next prime number, which is 3. 75 divided by 3 is 25. Divide 25 by 5, and that's what we get. So you can see 600 is 2 cubed times 3 times 5 squared, which means my value of A is 3. Next one, expand and simplify. Expand this thing, I'll just do a wee equal sign. So I'm doing 5 times the 3x is 15x, 5 times the 4 is 20, then minus 2 times x is minus 2x, minus 2 times minus 1 is plus 2, tidy it up, 15x minus, let's just highlight this so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm doing these are my 2 like terms, my x terms, and then these are my other 2 like terms. So 15 minus 2x is just 13x, 20 plus 2 is 22. There we go. Okay, Erica tries to sketch a graph of y is equal to 1 over x. Make two different criticisms of her sketch. Okay, right, first criticism, I suppose, is that this the vertical axis, the y-axis, is meant to be an asymptote. Your line, should not touch the vertical asymptote, which is your y-axis. Okay, it should not touch the vertical asymptote, which is a y-axis. And the other thing is, the graph should, this graph here, what it should look like, very roughly, is that top right and bottom left. And it will say, it should be in the bottom left and not the top left. Okay, so that's it. So you can't do this question if you don't know what the actual graph looks like and its sort of property. So it's got a vertical asymptote at your y-axis and a horizontal axis at the x-axis. That's really what it should be. Where are we? Oh, did I miss one? No. Here we are. Right. Sunita is X years old. So that's Sunita's X. Beth is 1 year younger than Sunita. So let's just write these down. Sunita, she's X. Beth is 1 year younger. That means if Sunita is X and Beth is 1 year younger, so X minus 1. Joel is double Sunita's, so Joel is 2 times Sunita's. The mean for ages is 5. Okay, right. Good question. Right, so how you get the mean is 5. That means if you add all of their values up, I'll put them in brackets. If you add all those things up and divide by 3, you get 5. So cross multiply by the 3, you're just going to be left with x plus x minus 1 plus 2x. 3 times the 5 is 15. Tidy up time, and then we'll just say tidy up, you've got 4x minus 1 is equal to 15. 4x and then is equal to 15 plus 1. 4x is equal to 16. X is equal to 16 divided by 4. X is equal to 4. Read the question. What do they ask us to do? How old is Joel? That means Joel, who is 2x then, is 2 times 4. Joel is 8 years old. Okay, you could check this one as well then. So Sunita was 4 then, Beth was 3, Joel was 8. And if you add those three things, 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 8 is 15 divided by 3. You do get 5, so you do get the average age of 5. So it does look like it's good. You don't have to do that. Maybe that wee rough page or whatever. Okay, Venn diagrams. Venn diagram represents 100 items. So 100 is the total. Okay, write down probability of A and B. So A and B is this wee overlap. So if there's 100 things in total, the probability of A and B, there's 13 out of 100, and that's as good as you can go. It doesn't cancel down any. Work out probability of not A. So to work this out, write down the probability of A. So A is this whole thing here. So 28 plus 13, what is that? 28 plus 13 over 100. What is 28 plus 13? 20 plus 10 is 30. 8 plus 3 is 11. 30 plus 11 is 41. 41 over 100. So that means therefore, those three wee dots there means therefore. So your not A will be 1 minus 41 over 100. Cancel down. Remember, if you can, that's going to be 59 over 100. Can't cancel down. That's a bit of work to do for 1 mark, isn't it? Probability of A union B. The easy way to do A union B, you could add them all up. You know what, we'll just add them all up. It would be the easiest way to do it. You could add them all up, or for A union B, you could do 100 minus, I'll do it that way. 100 minus 11, and then put that over 100. So 100 minus 11 is 89. So the probability of A union B is equal to 89 over 100. Let's just check this. So this is just showing you another way of doing it, or I could have just added these three things. So 28 plus 13 plus 48. 28. 8 plus 8 is 16 plus 3 will be 19. Carry my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 1 is 8. So yes, another way, probability of A union B is 89 over 100, whichever way you prefer. Next one, question 12. Okay, A times 10 to the power of n is a number in standard form. Complete the inequality for the value of A. Okay, so it has to be less than 10. It's a number between less than 10 and I suppose it's 0. 0. 0 is less than or equal to your A is less than or equal to 10. Okay, that's it. Okay, B is a number. B times 10 to the power of n is a number. 7,200 written in standard form. Work out B times 10 to the minus m. Okay, right, so we're going to have to work this out then. So B times 10 to the power of n is equal to 7,200. That means B times 10 to the power of n is the same as 7.2. So make this a number between 1 and 10, and then it would be 10 times 10 to the power of 3. So then if we want to look at this then, B times 10 to the power of minus n would be equal to then 7.2 times 10 to the minus 3. Weird way of asking this question, but then, so just write this down. We've got 7.2, give it a couple of zeros on behind it, mark your decimal point. The minus 3 means that 7 moves back 3 places. So that's where the 7 goes to. So there's where my answer is going to be 0.0072. Unusual way to ask it. That's a very good question. I like that one. Okay. Function machines. Waste of time. Right, here is a number machine. So you've got an input. You fire x in. What happens is it gets multiplied by a, and then you add b and you get y. show that the input increases by, show that when the input increases by 2, the output increases by 2a. Right, well then we'll just put the input, we'll put in x plus 2. So what happens is I multiply by a, so it goes up to a times x plus 2. And then what we do on the next wee thing, we add on b, and that will give you a times x plus 2, and then plus b. Let's just look at what this is. We'll work that out. So that's ax plus 2a plus b. Okay. And let's look at the original. So if I had just put in the x, what would I have got? I'd multiply by a. So I put a wee times a, times by a. I'll get ax. And then the next thing I do is when I go along here is I add my b. So you'll have ax plus b. So that was what my original was. So you can see it increases. By 2a, because that is the only difference between the two, is the 2a. Right. Okay, functions again. F of x is equal to kx squared, where k is a constant. Kai says that f of 6 divided by f of 2 is equal to f of 3, because 6 divided by 3 is 6 divided by 2 is 3. Is he correct? Well, the easiest way to do this is just work out what f of 6 is, and then we'll work out what f of 2 is, and then we'll just do f of 6 divided by f of 2. So f of 6 means you're putting 6 into this, so it's going to be k times 6 squared, which will work out, 6 squared is 36, so that's 36k. F of 2 means k times 2 squared. 2 squared is 4, that's 4k. So if you actually did f of 6 divided by f of 2, that would be 36k divided by 4k. And k is the cancel out, 36 divided by 4 is 9. So he is clearly not. He is not correct. Poor Kai's got it wrong. Question 14 says, here's a list of 11 whole numbers in numerical order. The lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and highest value are missing. Okay, let's do the median first. The median is the middle value. We've got 11 numbers. So you can see here, there's 5, there's 5. My median is here. My median is 2 times my lower quartile. My lower quartile would be here. Have I got my upper quartile? And my range is 2 times my interquartile range. I'm missing something here. Right, man, that's my upper quartile as well. That's Q3. This is my Q2. This is my Q1. Right. The lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and highest values are missing. The median is 2 times the lower quartile. Right, the numbers in order. I'm missing something here. I might have to come back to this one. I can't think about how I'm going to do this one. Right, 2 times the range is 2 times the interquartile range. Let's just write something down here. So highest minus the lowest is equal to 2 times my interquartile range. I'm not seeing something to get me started here. Come back to it. That's what you got to do in an exam, folks. If you're not seeing it, just go on. If I was going to waste too much time on that one, I'll do something else to occupy my mind, and never know, something might spark later on. I'll have to come back to that one. Question 14. Right, ABCD is a trapezium. All 4 sides are different lengths. AB is parallel to CD. So let's mark that on. Oh, it's already marked on. You can see they've got the wee arrow here. AB is parallel to CD. And the diagonals intersect at X. There's your X. For each statement, tick the correct box. Triangles, AXB. So this triangle here, AXB and CDX are similar. I think they might be. Let's have a look and see. By alternate angle, well, they share this angle. That's shared. This angle here would be the same as this angle, and this angle here would be the same. So they've got 3 angles the same. So they are definitely similar. They share 3 angles. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's just to sort of help me work this out. The next thing says AXD. Where's AXD? AXD and BCX, BXC I used to call it actually, are congruent. No, I don't think they are. Okay, they will share one angle. They have one angle the same, but this side here is not necessarily going to be the same length as this side. I would imagine it's not, and so on. So that's not true. They're not going to be the same based on that shape. So they're not the same. They're not congruent. And angle ADB, where is angle ADB? This angle equals angle BDC. BDC is this angle. They could be. You have no way of knowing, so it may be true. That one may be true. I don't think so, but it could be. I would imagine not, but it could be. And the area of the triangle ABC, right, where's ABC? Area of the triangle ABC equals the triangle ABD. Oh, it is. Yep, it is. Okay, now let's look at these individually again. So this first triangle, we'll use this one, this triangle here. If that's its base, then that's its perpendicular height. Now we'll look at the other triangle. It was ABC. There's its base, and its perpendicular height is the same. So that is true, in fact. Very good. What a good question. I like that. Well done, AQA. Okay, lovely. Solve the simultaneous equations. What I would do first of all is I go dot dot dot, and this really is a way of explaining your working out to yourself more than to the examiner. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to pick some to eliminate. I'm going to eliminate my x here. Now, if you imagine I was adding halves and thirds, I would find a common denominator of 6. Whatever way that's going to be, who cares? But that's whatever way you're going to do that. So what we need to do is you would need to multiply this first equation. You want to get this to be 6x. So I need to multiply my first equation by 3. And my second equation, I need this to become 6x. So it needs to be multiplied by 2. Notice, I've done this before I've actually done anything else. The reason you want to do this is people are very good at multiplying the left-hand side by 3, but they forget to multiply this by 3. Likewise, I'll multiply this by 2, multiply this by 3. But if you do what I've just done, you're more likely to get it right consistently. So multiply the first one by 3, you'll have 6x minus 15y is equal to 39. The second one by 2, you'll have 6x plus 8y is equal to 16. We're eliminating our x's. The signs of the x's, the thing that you're eliminating, are the same. So you want to subtract. Write down subtract, and I am also doing it here. 3 times equation 1 minus 2 times equation 2, and this will give us, we'll not do that, sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Well, this will give us an equation with just one unknown. So you've got minus 15x minus another 8y, that will be minus 23y. And if you did 39 minus 16, that will give you 23. That's looking pretty good to me. Y then equals 23 divided by minus 23. Y equals minus 1. Put that in a box, makes it nice and easy for the poor soul marking your work. So you've got y is equal to minus 1. What we want to do then is sub into equation 1. So get that thing and fire it back into equation 1. So 2x minus 5 times brackets minus 1. Use brackets, they are your friend. Then that becomes 2x minus 5 times minus 1 is plus 5. Then 2x is equal to 13 minus 5. 2x is equal to, what's 13 minus 5? 13 minus 5 will be 8. Xn will be 8 divided by 2. X will be equal to 4. Put that in a box and put them in the answer line as well. But there you go. You can also do, and what your teacher I'm sure has told you is a nice way to do this, is you can check that it works. So in my check in the other equation, whatever one it is, so whichever one you haven't subbed back into. So 3 times 4, then plus 4 times minus 1, that would be 12 minus 4. 12 minus 4 is 8. You know you've got it right. You know you've got full marks. But make sure, notice, I subbed into 1 earlier. That means I check in 2. All right. If I'd subbed into 2, then I would check in 1. So, but if you always sub into 1, just make it simple for yourself. Always sub into 1 and then check in 2. Simples. Right. What do we got? Okay, little geometry question here. Tricky enough one. This is non-calculator, yeah. Solid hemisphere has a radius of x. Solid cylinder has a radius of 3x and height of x. Okay. Work out the ratio of the total surface area of a hemisphere to the total surface area of a cylinder. Okay, right, before we get started, you've got the curved surface area of the hemisphere and you have the circular end. You have the curved surface area of the cylinder and you've 2 circular ends. So don't forget those, that's very important here. Okay, right. We'll do the hemisphere. Surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So for a hemisphere, it's going to be a half times 4 pi r squared plus circular base, pi r squared. What was our radius? Our radius was x, wasn't it? So that's going to be a half times 4 pi x squared plus pi x squared. That's 2 pi x squared plus pi x squared. That's 3 pi x squared. That's the hemisphere's surface area. For a cylinder, you don't have this. I am not familiar with AQA formulas sheets they're given at all. I have no idea if you're given this one or not. But for a cylinder, the curved surface area of a cylinder is pi r squared h. No, it is not. It is pi r h. That's a curved surface area. Plus, you've got 2 times pi r squared. So, here, not much space. Right. Right. This thing makes it I have to write very large in this. So, you would probably be able to write in half that space there. So, if I need to move off the page, I will do so here. Right, my radius, my height is x, and my radius is 3x. I'm just going to write that down before I get it. H is equal to x, my radius is 3x. Let's fire that in then. That's 2 pi times my r, which is 3x, times my h, which is x, plus 2 times pi times my r, which is 3x. That's all squared. So that's going to be 6 pi x squared plus, okay, this bit here, 3x squared, means you get 9x squared. 3x all squared, I should say, means you get 9x squared. And then it gets multiplied by 2. 9 times 2 gives you 18. And that's going to be 18 and pi x squared, which works out in total to be 24 pi x squared. Right, says find the radius of the total surface area of the hemisphere to the total surface area of the cylinder. So now it gets easy. It's 3 pi x squared to 24 pi x squared. Get rid of the x squareds. Get rid of the pi's. You're left with 3 to 24. Not quite done. Divide both by 3. 1 to 8. Lovely question. Very, very nice. Oh dear. Right. Oh, I'm not a big fan of these type of questions, I must say. Okay, circle the possible values of x. Okay, right. The cubed root of x is equal to this, so we're going to have to cube these in. So cube 6. What is 6 cubed? 6 times 6 is 36. It's going to be right. 6 times 6 times 6, 36 and times 6, and then let's just work that out. 6 times 6, 36 again. 6 times 3 is 18, plus the 2 is, sorry, plus the 3, yep, 2, 1, 6, and then 7 cubed, that's 7 times 7 times 7, which is 49 times 7, and then we'll just do that, 49 times 7. This is tricky enough for a non-calculator exam. 7 times 3, 7 times 9, sorry, is 63. 7 times 4 is 28, plus the 6, what have I just said? 7 times 4 is 28, plus 6 is 34. Okay, so basically, 216 is less than x is less than 343. Okay, circle the possible value of x. That one, that's only one it can be. Happy days. Oh, right, another weird one here. Work out how many 5-digit odd numbers can be made using these digits once. How many 5-digit odd numbers? Who cares? Right, okay. Right, well, you've got, it can end in a 7 or it can end in a 9. Okay, so it's how many ways that these can be ordered down. This is something I haven't done in a long time, these permutations. So it can end in 7 or it can end in 9. How many ways using 4 digits can you arrange that? Oh dear. I think this is using my NPR button. I'm not too sure on this. How many different ways can I do it? Right, I would have to work this out. There's a quicker way of doing this, folks, a much quicker way of doing this. Right, 4 things. I'm just going to write down A, B, C, D. Doesn't matter what they are, but there's 4 different things. So you can have A, B, C, D, A, B, D, C. You could have, then starting with the A still, and we'll do then C and B, D, and A, C, D, B, and then A, and then you've got your D version of that, so starting with B, and then B, C, and A, D, C, B. So what have we got for the A? Starting with the A, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so you've got 6 things. You could start with the B or the C or the D, so you have 6 times 4, so that's 24, and then you've also got, that's all the ones that end in 7. You could also have all the ones that end in 9, so multiply that by 2, 48. I am not sure if that's what they're looking for, but we'll go with that. I think I'll check that one at a later stage. Okay, I've gone back to question 14. I'm going to have a look at it again here. This was a list of 11 whole numbers in numerical order. The lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and highest values are missing. The median is twice the lower quartile. The upper quartile is 2.5 times the lower quartile. And the range is 2 times the interquartile range. I'm going to start with this one. I haven't a good way of doing this. This is sort of trial and error. My upper quartile, I'm going to try my upper quartile being something between 28 and 34. And I'm going to do, make it 30. Okay, now I've done that because the upper quartile is related to the lower quartile by 2.5. So it's 2.5 times as big. So my lower quartile then will be 30 divided by 2.5. So I've picked a number, whole number, which is going to be nice, which is going to work when you divide it by 2.5, because 30 divided by 5 would be 6. So then 30 divided by 2.5 would be 12. So that would make sense. Okay. It also says then the median is twice the lower quartile. So your median, Q2, is 2 times 12. So it's 24. And then it says the range is 2 times the interquartile range. Your interquartile range, remember, is your upper quartile minus your lower quartile, which is 30 minus 12, which is 18. That means your range is twice that, so 2 times 18, which would be 36. And that means your upper value is going to be the lower value plus the range, so it's going to be 41. So I could fill this in. 41 was my upper value. My Q3 is 30. My median is 24. My lower quartile is 12. Now, I have no idea. There may be other things which work, but I'd imagine there wouldn't be too many other ones because it mentions whole numbers, but that's a tricky question. Okay, right, back to where we were then. We were way on through this. I just thought I'd have a go at that one again. Oh, that's where we got to. We've done that one, our code one. Not code one yet, odd number. It could be a code question. Sometimes a 5-digit code is made up with this and these sorts of numbers. Okay, right. K, L, and M, both of the weights. Both of the scales are balanced exactly. how many M weights are needed to balance one L weight? Okay, absolutely no idea. Okay, right here, you've got 3 Ks, and here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 L, so 3K equals 4L. Over here, you've got 1K is equal to 1L plus 1L plus 2 M's. It says, the question is, how many M weights are needed to balance one L weight? So 1L equals some number of M's. That's really what we're trying to find. So what we need to do is find L in terms of L in terms of M. So first of all here, I would say we know that K equals this. We're going to put this, call this equation 1. I'll call this one equation 2. We're going to basically substitute equation 2 into equation 1. So instead of writing 3 times K, I'm going to write L plus 2M is equal to 4L. And then let's just multiply out and see what we get. We're going to get 3L plus 6M is equal to 4L. And that means 6M is equal to 4L minus 3L, or that's the same as L is equal to 6M. Lovely. What a nice question. Very good. Right, that was at question 20. Must be getting nearly through it now, are we? Question 21. Oh, right. Oh, completing the square. Didn't know that came up on this. Right. Completing the square. This isn't normally the exam board that I work with. I normally work with CCEA. So this would come up at GCSE Further Maths and CCEA. It's on regular GCSE Maths for AQA. Very nice. Lovely to do. Right. How are we going to do this? We're going to complete the square. You've got x squared minus 6x minus 15. I just put a bracket around that. And then to complete the square, you half the coefficient of the x, which is this bit then, the minus 6. So that becomes minus 3 squared, still minus 15. But then you must take away half of the coefficient of the x squared. Okay, so let's just sort that mess out. That's x minus 3 squared minus 15 minus, and that would be 9. Sort it out again, that's x minus 3 squared minus 24. And there we go. Okay. Next one. Oh, bit of surds. A is equal to root 2, B is equal to root 18. Match each expression to its value. So a squared, right? Let's just work these things out. A squared is going to be root 2 squared. If you have a square root squared, the square root and the square cancel out. So it's just going to be this. What else do we need? We've got a plus b. So if we did a plus b, that's going to be root 2 plus root 18. Tidy that root 18 up. Root 18 is the same as root 9 times root 2, which is the same as root 2 plus 3 root 2, which is the same as 4 root 2. So that's what your a plus b is. So there's your a plus b. It's 4 root 2. We'll get rid of that one. Was our a squared? It was just 2. That was already done for us. The next one was ab. All right, so ab is root 2 times root 18. So we've already said that root 18 is the same as 3 root 2. So root 2 times root 2 just gives you 2. So that's 3 times 2, which is 6. So that's AB is 6. Happy days, it's there. And the last one for us to do is B over A. Let's do it down here. B over A then, that was root 18 divided by root of 2. Root 18, remember, was 3 root 2 all over root 2, which is just 3. There you go. Lovely. Very nice. Why is this so far on in the exam? This is a very easy question. Okay, right, 0.133 recurring. I just write it out like this in its simplest form. If there's one digit repeating, you multiply by 10, so it becomes 1.33333. Now write your R underneath it, again, lining up the decimal points. So do your decimal point first. And then if you subtract, you can see what would happen if I subtract. I zoom in this wee bit. if I subtract all those 3's go, so you're going to get 9r on the left hand side. 10r minus r is just 9r, and that's going to be 1.2, which means r is equal to 1.2 over 9. Multiply top and bottom by 10, and then divide top and bottom by, we'll divide top and bottom by 3, just that's going to be 4 over 30. Divide top and bottom by 2, that's 2 over 15, and that is it. I'm just checking this here with a calculator here, cheating here just to check, and yep, that is right, that has worked. Happy days, you have no calculator to do that, unfortunately, in the exam. Okay, okay, question 24, what have we got? Oh, it's a straight lines question, is it? Points P and Q, PQR, so form a triangle, and it tells you R is equal to 8, 22, and PQ is a horizontal line with P on the y-axis, and the angle PQR is a right angle. The gradient of PR, so this thing has a gradient of 2. Work out the coordinates of Q. I have no idea. Now, I'm going to have to do a couple of things. Define the y-coordinate of Q. It's going to be the same as a y-coordinate of P. So I'm going to find the equation of PR. So find the I'm doing my working out up here. So we're going to try and find the equation of PR. Now PR, it tells you, has got a gradient of 2. So this is from your, remember your y equals mx plus c, general equation of a straight line. And then we're going to sub in the point 8, 22. So y is 22, my x is 8. So 22 is equal to 16 plus c. So that's just going to be 22 minus 16 is 6 is equal to c. So y is equal to 2x plus 6. So that's my equation of PR. Now, this 6 is my y-intercept. So that's where P crosses. So P is the point. I'll just mark on. We now know P is 0, 6. So Q is something 6. Okay? Now we've a wee bit of work to do to find what this is. Now, because this is a right angle here, that means your line RQ is perpendicular to PR. So I'm going to say the gradient of RQ is the negative reciprocal of 2. So that was your grade 2. Could you write it as 2 over 1? Negative reciprocal. So flip it upside down, it becomes a half. Change the sign. So that's your gradient of RQ. Okay. We'll find the equation of RQ then. So far is y is equal to minus a half x plus c. And RQ also goes through the point 8, 22. So we'll sub it in. So that's 22 is equal to minus a half times 8 plus c. 22 is equal to minus 4 plus c, which means 26 is equal to c. So my equation of RQ is y is equal to minus a half x plus 26. Right, what are we actually asked to do in this question? Work out the coordinate of Q. We know the y coordinate of Q. So I would just say the y coordinate was 6. So when y equals 6, 6 is equal to minus a half x plus 26. I've run out of space here. Bring that across. I'll switch those across. I'll bring the half x to the left, bring the 6 across. It'll be 20. That means x is equal to 20 divided by a half. 20 divided by half is the same as 20 times 2. So 40. That is not right, is it? Let's have a look at my diagram. 46. I suppose it could, well, could it be? Yeah, well, I've no reason, it's only a scale drawing. I'm not too sure, maybe I've made a mistake. I'll just check my working out there in case I have made a mistake. I'll do that very quickly myself here as well. Here we've got y equals 2x plus c, 22 equals 2 times 18, 22 equals 16 plus c, c equals 6, so that's 606, yes, that looks right. And that's also going to be something 6. Negative reciprocal from my gradient. Yep, y is equal to minus a half x plus c. Sub in the, is that right? Definitely right up there. 8, 22. 22 equals, yes, 26. That's my y-intercept. So that's my equation. When y equals 6, 6 is equal to, so minus 20. Yeah, it looks right. It looks right anyway. Don't see anything wrong with it. Okay. Right. Okay, this is a non-calculator exam. Show that sine of 30 minus tan of 45 over 2 cos of 30 can be written as tan x, where x is an acute angle. Okay, right. So we look at that one. Okay, right, so they want this written as a tan of something. Okay, right, I think, I'm not too sure, I've never done this exam board, I'm not too sure what they're looking for, but I'd imagine you will have been taught the trig ratios for specific angles like 30, 45 and 60. So let's just go through those. Sine of 30 is equal to a half. Sine of 45, you may have learned this as one of two ways, either 1 of root 2, or you may have learned it as root 2 over 2, it's the same thing. This is maybe the more old-fashioned way of doing it, that's the way I would do it, to be honest. And then sine of 60 is also equal to root 3 over 4. So that's they're the exact values of those things. Root 3 over 2, apologies, root 3 over 2, root 3 over 2. And then we'll do the cos ones. And there's a reason for me doing it in this order. Cos then they're the reverse, so it's root 3 over 2. Then cos of 45, again, is 1 over root 2, or you could write it as root 2 over 2. And then sine of 60, cos of 60. Cos of 60 is going to be equal to a half. From that then, your tan, you get from dividing the sine by the cos one, so half divided by root 3 over 2, that's going to be 1 over root 3. And then that's tan of 30. Your tan of 45 is going to be 1 over root 2 divided by 1 over root 2. So something divided by itself is just going to be 1. And tan of 60 is just going to be this one divided by this one, which is going to give you root 3. Okay, right. No idea. I'm just going to get started with this question. So let's just write this down and work it out using those numerical values. We had 4 sine of 30 minus tan of 45 all divided by 2 cos of 30. So let's just fire in what we now know. So that's 4 times sine of 30, so 4 times a half, minus tan of 45, which is 1, all over 2 times cos of 30. And cos of 30 was root 3 over 2. Right, that's an absolute mess. Let's tidy up. That's just going to be 2 minus 1 on the top line. Bottom line is going to be root 3. That's just going to be 1 over root 3. And we know 1 over root 3 is the same as tan of 30. So that equals tan of 30. Okay, so I would imagine you have had to learn those off, or maybe you're given them in your question booklet, formula booklet. I do not know, but there we are. Okay, so that's a tough hard question. Right, the question, circle, center 0 has a circumference of 2 pi, so C equals, 20 pi, C equals 20 pi. Q is 1 point on the circle. OPQR is a square. Perimeter of the square. The perimeter of the square to the circumference of the circle is in a ratio of root A to pi, where A is an integer. Work out the value of A. I have no idea. Right. This is my radius R. Okay, and we'll work out R first. So 2 pi R is equal to 20 pi, because that's circumference was equal to 20 pi and 2 pi r is the equation for the circumference. So that means r is equal to 20 pi divided by 2 pi. My radius works out to be 10. Now, I'm going to work out this length and this length because I need to find the area, the perimeter of this square. So it's Pythagoras now. So r squared equals x squared plus x squared. So the right hand side is 2x squared, and r squared is 10 squared. So it's 100. So we could say 50 then is equal to just x squared. So x is equal to the square root of 50. Okay, and I could write that as the square root of 25 times the square root of 2. So x is equal to 5 root 2. So that's a length of one side. So the perimeter of the square then is equal to 4 times 5 root 2, which works out as 20 root 2. That's the perimeter of my, what am I talking about? The perimeter of my square. Right, now we need, and we've got the circumference of the circle. Was this? It was 20. So let's just say the perimeter of the square to the circumference. So that was 20 root 2 to, what's the circumference? 20 pi. There we go. Then just divide through by that 20. You've got root 2 to pi. Okay, and there you go. That's a strange wee question there. Very nice. I like it. Very nice indeed. Still going. How many more have we got to do? That's it. Last question. We're on a last question. There we go. Right. Journey has 2 stages. So stage 1, you go distance of 30 at an average speed of a, and your time is 30 over a hours. And then stage 2 is 30, and you go an average speed of b, and your time is 30 over b. Show that the average speed for the whole journey is this. Okay, no idea. So if I have no idea, write down a formula. So the formula for average speed is equal to total distance over total time. So let's just fill it in. So total distance, I'll do my distances in yellow. I've gone 30 and 30 again. So that's just going to be 30 plus 30. And my average speed, my total time, my times in blue are going to be 30 over A plus 30 over B. I think it's just a simplifying question now, is it? Let's go for it. Okay, top line simplifies to be 60. Bottom line simplifies, we're going to take a common denominator of AB. So this got multiplied by a B, so this also gets multiplied by B, so you're going to have 30b. This boy over here gets multiplied by a, so the bottom line gets multiplied by a, so the top line gets multiplied by a, so it's now going to be 30a, and that's what you've got. And then I'm going to write this out. People are really bad at these, so I'm going to change this. I could write this as 60 divided by 30b plus 30a all over ab. Fractions, what you do is you will write that as 60 over 1, and now times ab over 30b plus 30a, and that then becomes, let me just get rid of that. Clearly I've used up more space than I should have here. May create a wee bit of space here just for the sake of this video. So here, multiply along top, you'll have 60ab, and on the bottom you will have, I'm going to write it as 30a plus 30b. Now everything is divisible by 30, so let's just divide through by 30. So you will have 2ab all over a plus b. Please tell me, is that what I was looking for? It was indeed. 2ab, and that's me done. Check through your paper. I think I went back and did that one I got stuck on earlier on. Please let me know in the comments if you have a nicer way of doing that one with the numbers, the median and quartiles and so on. Not too sure if I've done that the most efficient way, but sure. All right.